Welcome to Regarding Relationships, the podcast where we dive into all things relationships. The ones we choose, the ones we're born into, and the messy ones we're still figuring out. I'm your host, Hayley, a licensed therapist, author, and soon-to-be doctor of social work. Yep, I'm almost there. I've spent years working with individuals, couples, and families, and I've seen firsthand what brings us closer and what pushes us apart. Together, we'll explore the mess and magic of human connection. So, let's get into it. Hey everyone, I'm so glad you're here. I'm your host, Hayley, and thanks for making me part of your day. Welcome to How to Spot Love Bombing. Before we dive in, just a quick note. This space is minimal on purpose. Just simple visuals and the sound of my voice. It's designed this way to help you slow down and settle your nervous system. So, whenever you're ready, let's begin. What is love bombing? Well, love bombing is when someone overwhelms you with affection, attention, or gifts. At first, it feels incredible. Text messages all day, over-the-top compliments, dramatic gestures. You may hear things like, "You are my soulmate. I've never felt this way before, and I can't live without you." But here's the truth. Love bombing is not about love. It's about control. It's about pulling you in so quickly that you don't notice the red flags. So let's talk a little bit about what makes it so confusing. Love bombing feels good because it meets real human needs. We all want to be chosen, to feel special, to finally be seen, especially if we grew up with neglect, rejection, or inconsistent love. This flood of attention can feel like water after a drought. But here's the catch. It's not sustainable. And here's a heads up. The same person who showers you with love today may criticize you, demean you, or guilt trip you tomorrow. This push-pull cycle keeps you hooked and chasing the high of the beginning. And you may find yourself trying to get it back even after they've gone cold and distanced themselves. So, who love bombs? Well, not everyone love bombs for the same reasons or in the same way, but let's try to break down this question. Narcissists and controlling partners love bomb to gain power and devotion. That's because once you're attached and emotionally invested, they switch from charm to control to keep you dependent and compliant. They may begin to exert power over you through criticism, guilt, jealousy, or demands. And you might stay and tolerate this change because you remember who they were in the beginning, and you keep hoping that version of them will come back. Manipulative and antisocial personalities also love bomb as a strategy to disarm, exploit, or isolate you. In other words, people with antisocial traits like impaired empathy may intentionally use care as a tool to control others. They might warn against your friends, family, or support systems. They might say things like, "Your friends don't really care about you. You can't trust them." This is a form of emotional manipulation, and it's to cut off your outside influence. Groups and cults also love bomb. Newcomers are showered with praise, belonging, and attention until loyalty is secured. So there's that same pattern. Now, not all love bombing comes from such a manipulative place. People with anxious attachment may also love bomb. And for these people, their overwhelming gestures may come from a place of fear. They flood you with intensity because they're terrified of losing you. Ultimately, while intentions may differ, the effect is the same. Overwhelming intensity that takes away your ability to move at your own pace. So who's most susceptible to love bombing? Well, the truth is anyone can be pulled in, but certain people are especially vulnerable. For instance, those with low self-esteem who crave validation. They are more likely to overlook red flags in exchange for that attention and approval. People with an anxious attachment style who are hungry for closeness. They may cling to unhealthy relationships out of fear of abandonment, even when their boundaries are being crossed. Empaths and helpers who naturally see the best in others and want to help, their instinct is to heal and support, and that can make them easy targets for those who take more than they give. People going through loss, breakups, or transitions because their guard is down. Their overwhelming emotions can cloud their judgment and make it easier for manipulative individuals to step in and gain influence. Anyone with unmet emotional needs from childhood because the attention feels like healing. It recreates this familiar dynamic, making even unhealthy connections feel comforting or meant to be. Ultimately, love bombing works because it targets longing, the need to feel loved and safe. So how do you know if you're being love bombed? Well, let's make this practical. Here are some practical questions you can ask yourself. Number 1, is the affection too much too soon? Number 2, are they already talking about forever, days or weeks in? Number 3, do you feel pressured to match their intensity? Number 4, do they get frustrated if you ask for space or set boundaries? Number 5, is there a pattern of flooding you with affection and then suddenly pulling back? If the answer is yes, you're probably not being loved. You're being managed. Let's talk about why this is a problem, because you might be thinking, who wouldn't want that much love and attention? Well, here's why it's harmful. Number 1, it creates a false reality that ultimately collapses. The intense affection feels real, but it's a performance. And when it fades, you're left confused and wondering what was genuine. Number 2, it bypasses healthy boundaries. It rushes you forward before trust has had time to grow. And that kind of fast pace can make it hard to spot those red flags until after you're already emotionally invested. Number 3, it leads to control and manipulation. Once you're hooked, the rules will change. That's because what started as affection quickly turns into guilt tripping, jealousy, or pressure to meet their needs at your own expense. Number 4, it damages self-trust because you start doubting your instincts. You start thinking, but they loved me so much at first. And this confusion makes it harder to recognize their unhealthy behavior because you're stuck on what you supposedly did or did not do. This kind of trap makes it difficult to protect yourself in the future. And number 5, it isolates you. It pulls you away from your friends and your family and from other perspectives. It cuts off your support network, and that makes it easier for these manipulative individuals to control your thoughts and your decisions, and it just leaves you feeling alone and dependent on them. Love bombing feels like devotion, but in reality, it's about power. So how can you protect yourself? What can you do? First and foremost, slow down the pace. Healthy love allows space. Check for consistency. Do their actions match their words? How about weeks later? Keep your circle close. Friends and family will help you to see clearly. Trust your gut. Confusion itself is often a red flag. And set boundaries. A healthy partner will respect them. A love bomber won't. So here's a reflection exercise for you. I invite you to take a few quiet moments today and ask yourself these 3 questions. Number 1, have I ever been swept up by love bombing, and what did that feel like? Number 2, how can I tell the difference between intensity and consistency? Number 3, if I felt rushed in love, what boundary could I set to protect my pace? Remember, you don't have to change everything at once. Just noticing is a strong start. In closing, love bombing isn't love, it's a performance. Real love doesn't overwhelm or rush you. It grows slowly. It respects your boundaries. It feels safe. So, if love feels like a tidal wave, remember, you don't have to drown in it. You are allowed to step back. You are allowed to take your time. You are allowed to protect your peace. Because healthy love isn't about intensity. It's about trust. And trust takes time. Thank you so much for listening today. If something from this episode spoke to you, I'd love to hear it. Drop a comment or share a question about a relationship that's on your mind. Big or small, your questions can spark conversations we all can learn from. And if you'd like to keep exploring these topics with me, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. I'm grateful you're here. I'll see you next time. And until then, stay curious, stay kind, and stay connected.